TC, Spiritual Shepherd. Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be getting into it's okay if they don't understand you. It's okay if they don't understand you. It's okay if they don't understand you. It's okay if you don't understand I. It's okay if you don't understand me. It's okay if somebody doesn't understand the point of reference. It's okay if someone else doesn't understand the being that does overstand, that comprehends, that gets it. It's okay. We don't need to go outside of ourselves for validation. This video is going to be a relatively short one, but it's a necessary one. You guys might have heard this before. It's okay to don't care what other people think. And yes, it is very important. I'm going to get into that video too. Don't care what other people think. But I find it very interesting that we think there's so many things on this that we feel like we're smarter than people, but then if we feel like we're smarter than them, then when they say something about they say something like derogatory or rude or demeaning or something that attacks you or whatever, it's like, why would you let that affect you if you know that you're more intelligent and that you can, and regardless of you could just be stoic and just be like, oh, you know what, that's just their perception of me. That's not actually how it is. And that's a big thing is that's theirs, this is mine. That's their perception, that doesn't mean that's how it is. You could that's their belief system. That's from their perspective. This is from my perspective. When we start to approach from, this is from my perspective. This is what I believe. It's way easier to approach a conversation from my point of view, from my perspective, from the way that I believe. It's way better, and then you can just state facts. As based on your truth or based on from your perception. But when you enter into that perception of, from my perspective, it gives the whole thing that it doesn't have to be anybody else's perspective. You come off completely original. You come off completely individualized, authentic, aboriginal, original. You come off total, okay? And that is a big thing. You come off whole. You have a full wholeness and holiness about you in that aspect, okay? So when we generally speak for people, there's a whole type of thing. Hey, from France, welcome from France. Yo, I love it. I know a lot of people. France, Brazil, Southern Africa, Australia. So welcome from France. I love it. So welcome. Now, ultimately, we are talking about it's okay if they don't understand you. It's okay if they don't understand you. They might be confused about where your life is going. They might be confused about what you're learning. They might be confused about what you know because you know it, and they want to know why you know it. They want to know how you know it. They want to know the intricacies of your knowledge. And this inner correlation of you not knowing them not knowing what you know, or you not identifying with what they know. People are afraid of what they don't know, and they will cast out what they are afraid of. They will project fears. This is a huge thing in psychology and sociology and in emotionality. This is a huge thing in mentality and emotionality pillar. Okay? And it's invisible because emotions and thoughts are invisible. They're invisible, but you can feel them, and you can think them, and you can experience them, and you can impress them, and you can visualize them, and you can feel them, you can emote them, you can emit them, you can pass them. All this cultivation of thoughts and emotions is invisible. Words, they're invisible. You can hear them, you can feel them, you can feel when I enunciate with power behind my words. You see what I'm saying? You can feel it because there is an inner correlation between the energy that is involved with the emotionality and the mentality. So it's okay if they don't understand you. It's okay if they're not on the same path as you. You're supposed to be on the path. It's not for them to walk with you. It's for you to walk for you. It's not for them to walk with you. It's for you to walk for you. That's what your path is for. If your path was to be with everybody else, it would be our path. It would be a group path. It would be a community. It wouldn't be your path. It wouldn't be your hero's journey. It would be the hero's journey, as in a multitude of heroes. It would be like the Justice League. You see what I'm saying? Okay, let's take this into account. Okay, the Avengers. Okay? Well, there's Thor and there's Iron Man, there's Hulk, there's all these other different heroes, okay? And they all go through their own baggage of stuff. Some people have different weaknesses, some people have different strengths, some people are born in different places and different planes and all these other different things. Okay? So let's take that into account. They're all born into different places and all this stuff. This is the same as you. Okay, so yeah, you might have a group collective, a family or a friendship or a relationship or family ships or a connection between different people that you want to share with. But there's also the cultivation of your own hero's journey, of your own internal individualized hero's journey, your own original whole journey. Okay, what do I mean? I mean that, well, Thor makes up the Avengers, but Thor also has his own 5 movies, okay, or 4 movies, or whatever it is, okay? And same with all these other, but they're also still in a group thing. So yeah, you could want to be around people, you could want to have your family ships, to have your friendships, to have your cultivation, but you also have your own individual path, which you must respect to the grandest degree, okay? Because here's the big thing about your path. Nobody else can walk your path for you as much as you want to ask other people to walk your path for you, because there's the lack of accountability. There's still something that has to be accounted for, and there will be beings that will take accountability for other people, but then therefore they are paid that accountability. They are accounted for in that type of accountability. So there's people who could be accounted for in a multitude of I guess you could say dimensions. I guess you could say in a plethora of people, in a group or collective or a consciousness of people. So there's also a big thing too. It's okay that they don't understand you, because you understand you. You understand you. You comprehend you. You get you. You know yourself. Okay? If you want other people to know you, it's first imperative that you know yourself. It's not imperative that everyone knows you. It's imperative that you know yourself. And the whole thing in this day and age is that we generally are caring too much about how other people know us or how we are perceived. But that doesn't mean that's actually how we are. That's just how we're perceived. Okay, and there's that objective and subjective aspect of the emotionality, and from the figurine to the actual figure. And here's a big thing too. I'm not going to have this go too long. It's okay if they don't understand you. The whole thing about them not understanding you is showing you that you are more on that rarity path, that you are on that path that not everyone's going to walk, that you are going to meet rare people who resonate with your frequency. You are going to meet people who are on your resonant vibration. You are going to come along people who are like you, and then you are going to be able to impact those types of people. But here's the thing, is if you're always caught up in what do they think about me? How can I keep up with them? How can I keep up with the Kardashians? How can I keep up with the Joneses? How can I keep up with my neighbors? How can I keep up with everybody else? Other than you, there is no you. And here's a big thing that I always said on all my TikToks, which is this. If you have to go outside of yourself to find yourself, you don't have a self, because you have to go outside of yourself to find yourself. Which means that they are going to give you the version of who they think you are. Okay, it's not important to find out what somebody thinks of you. It's important what you think of you. It's important what you feel about you. It's important what you think about what you feel about you. It's not as important. It might be important if you deem these people important, but it's still not as important as what you think about you. Okay, it's okay to have people think these things about you. Okay, it's okay to ask people for advice. It's okay to ask people for perception from outside of you, but it's still more important, what you think about you, how you perceive you, your mentality. It doesn't matter what they think your mentality is. It doesn't matter what they think your physicality is, what your emotionality is. It matters what you think your mentality is, what you think your emotionality is. And they might project that as, that's narcissist, that's arrogant, that's this. No, it's accountable. It's self-accountability. It's self-accountability to the max. And the whole thing is that we have bouts of accountability, waves of accountability, where it's like, oh, I won't take any accountability, I'll take some accountability. I won't take any accountability, I'll take some accountability. And I would rather not have waves. I would rather just say, I'm accountable, and if you're going to think that I'm arrogant, that's fine. That's still only your perception of me. That doesn't mean that's actually how I'm being. That might be how I'm perceived by you, but that doesn't mean that's actually how my perception is, or how my perspective is, or how what I'm emoting, or what I'm thinking, or what I'm emitting. Okay, and there's this aspect where you can cultivate this. That's why you say, from my perspective. Right when you say from my perspective, it's open game, because it becomes, you're an original person. You're a whole person. You're an authentic person. You're not speaking for other people. You're just speaking from your point of view. And then people, I cannot tell you how you feel. I just can't. I can tell you how I think you feel. I can tell you how I feel that you might feel, but I still can never tell you how you feel, and you can never tell me technically how I feel. You can compare, you can contrast, you could say we have the same types of feelings, but are we expressing the same types of feelings? Still no. See, like that's the thing is like somebody might have a different expression. That's the whole thing about the 3D, the 5D split is about there's a person who's too identified in their body, and then there's a person who's more lost in they've lost a lot of their ego. They've done the work, and they are more in their spirit, and they're in the same exact place. They're at the beach, and one is having a downer experience and one is having an upper experience, and they're both at the same place at the same time in the same situations, in the same experience. They ate the same food, same bodies, they're twins. Okay? That's the whole thing about this is it's really a matter of an internal state of belief, an internal point of view, and this is what the Matrix is talking about. This is what Avatar is talking about. This is what all these movies, everything is talking about. It's an internal impression. Christ is within us. God is within us. God is amidst. It's internal. The only temple that ever exists is internal. Think about how many denominations there are. Okay, now think about one body. There's only one body. There's only one temple. And that's expressed through two different types of ways. That's okay, there's 10 bodily systems, and then there's the 11 system for the man and an 11 system for the woman, which is generally the expression of the gender. And then that would be the 12 systems. That would be the 12 systems, the 12 zodiac, the 12 disciples, the 12 cranial nerves, the 12 meridian systems, the 12 months, all interconnected, the 12 month cycles. Okay, you can see all these other different month, okay? And then you can see the moon cycles, menstrual cycle. You can see the intercorrelation between all of it. Okay, so there's this type of aspect that is interconnected. So it doesn't matter what they think about you. This is the whole thing is it's okay that they do not understand you. It's actually important that they don't understand you, because that means it's showing you, that is a key sign that you are on your purpose. It is a key sign that you are resonant with the people that you're resonant with. You are connecting with the people you're supposed to connect with. You are meeting the people you're supposed to meet and being the being that you are supposed to be. You're not trying to be somebody else. You're not trying to be someone else. That is a big thing in this day and age. I want to be that person. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of that type of vibe. Like, I want to be that person. It's like, be you. Like, you're good now. Like Gary Vee says, like one day, like this woman walked up to Gary Vee and was like, one day I'll make it. One day I'll make it. And he was like, you're good now. You're amazing. She's like, one day I'll be great. He's like, you're great now. You're great right now. And then she started bawling and she was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And he's like, yeah, it's literally the facts. It's like literally true. So that's pretty much it, guys. It doesn't matter it's okay that they don't understand you. It's imperative that they don't, because they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to know the things you read. They're not supposed to know the things you know. That's why you know it. You're not supposed to know the things that they know. You're not supposed to experience their experience that they experience, because they're supposed to experience it from their impression, from their points of views. And then you can start to really see like, oh, okay, everyone has their own point of view. Everyone has their own expressional state. Everyone has their own individuality of the connection with the universe. See, this is exactly the same thing as like, it's a personal relationship with God, okay? So if you take the universe and the individual, if you study that, the universe has to express themselves through the individual. They have to express themselves as an individual. That's the only way that they can actually express. That's the only way the universe can express physically, is through an individual. They have to express through an individual. And so then you say, well, if there's an individual, that person per se, has a interconnected relationship with this, and then that is based on their programming, their reprogramming, their connectional synapses, their neurotransmitters, their pituitary gland, their endocrinal hormones, their electrical systems, their likes, their dislikes, their belief systems, their doubts, not their doubts, their appreciations, their gratitudes, their attitudes towards all these types of things. So that is the correlation. That's why it doesn't matter what somebody thinks about you, or it doesn't matter necessarily if they don't understand you. Because if it really matters about what they think about you, then that means that we would never come from a point of view that what I do and what I say has to be in alignment. When you don't necessarily, I'm not saying that you don't listen to people. I'm saying that what you say to yourself is still more important than what anyone would say about you or to you or for you, or what they think is for you or what they feel is for you. They can only express from a way of their own internal state of belief system. And that also shows you something, that we're all interconnected internally, not externally. That we can only tell people what we feel like we think that they know. But we can't ever be like, I know what and then obviously you can pick up in psychic and all this type of stuff where you can feel but there's still that buffer. There's still that buffer period. There's still that buffer period that you can't necessarily pick up on exactly. Okay. So there's that correlation. Okay. So it's okay if they don't understand you. It's okay. It's okay if they don't resonate with you. Okay, find new friends, find better family, find cultivation of this, or just show up less, or show up more for yourself, or just be who you are and just tell them hey, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love all of you, but this is just who I am. And you guys can love me for who I am and know that I'm, not going to hell. Peace, much love, namaste, like, comment, share, subscribe. Ultimately,